EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings as they get set to square off against our home team. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and our home team. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Salt Lake City ball club. They come in riding high. Just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, whatever promise they had to start the season fully evaporated now as they come in losers of 6 straight.
And sometimes when you're in the middle of a losing streak, being on the road is exactly what you want. You can only depend on each other. Let's see if they can use that as fuel in this ball game.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Cook. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Well, look now at our starting defense. They've certainly had their struggles against the run at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem, when they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Going right side here, and that's complete. 20! Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And it's now a 7-0 game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
That's caught at the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there. 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now Newton on first down. Buying time to his left. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run. Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Newton takes it himself. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off the decision to go for it, 1st and goal. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They start the drive with Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Dante Fowler in there to get him for a loss of 5. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. That's into the hands of Reynolds. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Pulled in at the 24. Look at the spin.
Balance.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The numbers for McCaffrey last week: 17 carries, 112 yards.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
Newton now to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. DJ Moore, his 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Reynolds. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And that is incomplete. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
They had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago. They're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Now, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? He's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out, because one of the best ways to slow down production is to go to zone and double, triple team, put a number of people in the area that you expect him to run into. But man-to-man, every receiver believes he's going to win that battle. And you know what they all do? They all keep kind of a book, you know, on what the defenders do, what their moves are, their best things. And he wants to be able to refer to that book and beat one guy at a time.
And this is complete to Moore on the comebacker. Give him 30 yards there. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They go play action here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sheldon Rankins. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage. Able
to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from, working his way into the secondary.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
180!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Let's go.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defense.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They'll run with McCaffrey. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Tight end right. Gun. Even. 4 down. Even.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
On 1st and 10, Newton escaping the pressure right. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Fighting through it, he's got space. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And it's caught. Touchdown. DJ Moore with his second touchdown here in this first half. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game. But just let them know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Reynolds. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
180!
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. Forced out to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Sit up! 180!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Sit up! 180!
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
180!
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a 3rd person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. Newton now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Newton. that's off the mark, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Newton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown! Cam Newton with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. Now Trubisky on 1st down. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
180!
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. From the left side, complete. That's Reynolds. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
180!
Again, it's Trubisky. This pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
180!
On 3rd and goal, Trubisky. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Catanzaro's kick is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they rattle off a big one. 64 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line down at the 2. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. Eluding the and he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Cam Newton. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
180!
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Trubisky now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Play action. Now Trubisky. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Set. Ready. And we're going 37's the Mike. Mike 37.
On second down, McCaffrey. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Set. 180.
On first down, Newton. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Gun.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Looking deep downfield. This is intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Trubisky will throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it a second down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
180.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
180.
Again, it's Cook. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Set up. 180.
Handoff comes to Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
180.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Trubisky to throw again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
And he finally runs out of gas, but not before he's inside the 10-yard line.
Similar to golf, you never want to count a score before it actually happens, but you have to figure. They thought they were going to get 6 on that play. Great effort to keep them out of the end zone, but a big-time return.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Set. 180.
He'll get it up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? The shotgun snap for Newton. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. Sliding out of the pocket. He finds an opening past the 40, and he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
A give. This is Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run it again with Cook. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They've got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
180.
They go play action. Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Trubisky. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time Keeps reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the 1st. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Now it's Trubisky. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Luke Kuechly coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, the big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And as a result, possession switches hands. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. McCaffrey on the counter. Whoosh. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go. Everyone's got 4. We're set. 180. Mike 56. Mike 56.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. Oh, and now he bowls throws him over. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now they try the right side here. And a stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Gun. Here we go, set. 180. Switch.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hard. Here we go, set. 180. Check. Greg.
He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. It's Bishop. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. His throw incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
180!
2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to have a third down. Now Trubisky into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick, and now running right through it. Ooh, with a juke. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner, and just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Hey! 4 down! Alert! Hey, watch this!
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Muscling free near the 40. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's